We're on the Isle of Man and with Lesley and Yasmin and the lovely Tom. And he's got one of our lovely comfort elevation MonoFlap jumping saddles, which Yas had recently. The saddle before was sort of moving around a little bit, and what we did is not just provided a saddle that hopefully fits very well, which it does, but also a saddle that actually just has a single flap. And how does that feel to ride in?
It's very secure, and I feel like I'm sat on the saddle instead of
but your leg, I should imagine your leg's much better.
Yeah, I can actually get my leg on because there's less leather between me and the side of Tom. And the old saddle, my legs were stuck out here because it was obviously not MonoFlap.
Exactly.
But here I can get my leg on Tom.
But I suppose the most important factor is just the way the saddle actually fits and the fact that it doesn't actually move around.
No, it's very secure on Tom as well.
And on the Isle of Man, we have here Rachel Ranson, who's our retail partner for the Isle of Man. And basically the saddles are only available through Rachel. But you mainly compete in the UK, mainly, because there's not as many events here. So we seem to see you mostly in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the UK a lot of eventing, doing pony trials with Tom. And this year we've done 2 pony trials, and he's been in the top 5 at one of his trials and top 5 at his other novice this year, and he's had 2 double clears in those with the saddle, and it's just improved his jumping so much.
Because before, as I understand it, is that you didn't really have any clear rounds, but you've been out, is it 4 major events now? And every time you've got the clear rounds and 2 double clears as well, which is very impressive.
Well, last year the show jumping was their nemesis. It would have been top 5 in all of his trials, apart from the show jumping folds. So we've come out this year and absolutely blown it away in the show jumping phase, because he's put 4 clears on the dot. Last year he only got 1 clear in any of his events, so something this year is a massive revelation, and Yas and obviously Tom feel very comfortable in the new saddle, so I couldn't be happier.
Well, there's a lot of benefits with the MonoFlap, but it's also, I think the biggest thing I noticed is just the stability, because when we saw the other saddle, it was just moving around, and how Yas rode that and jumped on a regular basis. It must have been very difficult at the time that we saw the saddle. I'm sure it was a time that fitted very well. But the thing is, like, the most important thing I think is that you get a saddle checked regularly, that the saddle fits the horse really nicely. And one thing we do with yourselves is we see you on a regular basis that we find with the higher level riders, the higher level we go. And you know, Yas for certainly a child is a very high level. Is that the saddles need to be checked regularly. The more you do, the more the horses change shape, and that's something that we think is so very, very important.
Especially in the sport that we do in eventing, because obviously at the beginning of the season maybe they're not quite as lean and fit, and as they go through the season and compete regularly, you know, their body shape changes, and he's changing all the time depending on how much fast work we're doing. Just
in the time that we've seen the saddle, we've seen him change so much. I mean, we do a lot with endurance, and a lot of the British team members that we're actually fitting saddles for is that the horses change like you'd never believe, but then they're doing a lot of distance. But it's not just distance riders. You know, the thing is your jumping is all the people, the dressage riders, the high-level dressage riders we have to check the saddles on a regular basis. We normally recommend to our customers the saddles get checked once a year, but with people like yourselves, we have to see you every 2 months, and that's just perfectly fine. That's exactly right, and that's the only way to really keep on top of things.
No, it's been great. I mean, again, that's been a revelation for us to know that he's comfortable throughout the year. He's not just sort of he's, the way he's jumping, his action, and the way Yas is riding him. I can see a massive change from last season, and you know, and hopefully the British team selectors have seen the same, which I know that they have because they've mentioned it. Yes, and you know, we've got another 2 trials to go. We've got a big trial in a couple of weeks, and then the British Pony Championships the first weekend of June, and hopefully after those, then, you know, we may get the telephone call we've been waiting for 2 years.
Of course, as everyone is.
Which will be amazing. So we have a lot to thank the saddle for.
Exactly, and in an Olympic here as well.
Exactly, so yes, and yes, to have that, and for the Pony European Championships is going to be held in Fontainebleau in France, 22nd of July, which is a week before the Olympics. So everyone will be in massive Olympic fever, so that'll be amazing. So no, we're very excited and we're very, very happy that, you know, that everything's going so well with the saddle, and Tom's on such good form.
And long may it be. But anyway, dressage saddles to try next.
Yes, bring it on. Bring it on, we're waiting for that. So let's hope that we can get that before the next few events, and we can hopefully make up those few extra marks.
Exactly.
Then.
And we're going to try Doeskin.
That'd be very nice.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
And Bambi's at the ready.
No, it's all good, and I think the confidence now that Yaz has in Tom that he can go clear, to me, is I can see that every week.
I think also, I think it's a really interesting point, because I think when the saddle's moving around, and the saddle that was fitting on him before was clearly moving around, and it's something that happens very gradually, the change in the fit, and it's something you just don't pick up on. But that then as a rider, it can actually knock the rider's confidence to a degree. And I mean, you know, Yaz is a very confident rider, but just that little bit makes that difference.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's that stability. What we do is we fit saddles for stability, for balance and for stability. And it's such an important thing.
Definitely.
And if you can have a saddle that you actually don't notice is there, you're going to jump high, you're going to perform better, you're going to feel so much more confident.
Well, it seems to me as well, with the cross country, obviously they have a lot of drops to do. And
you've been telling me so, I was amazed.
Yeah, and they have to have so much freedom in their shoulder and so much flexibility in their back, and he just absolutely, the pictures we've got from him this year, his ears pricked no matter how big the drop, or, you know, he's absolutely just eating the cross country as
Some
well.
of the jumps are amazing.
Does it feel different for you cross country?
Yeah.
Do you feel a lot more secure?
A lot more secure, yeah. I've got my leg in a much better position with my old saddle. My lower leg used to be very unstable, but now with this, I feel my leg is in a much better position.
In fact, she's riding very much, every picture we have, she's very much riding the position of Mary King, which is very much legs forward, and you know, that's the safest place to be in a cross-country position, is to be behind the movement almost, so that if there's a stumble, you're not going to go straight out the front door, and this saddle's allowing you to ride with that really good leg position. So.
Good.
I think we need to see you ride him now.
So if you wouldn't mind riding
Off
around,
you go, don't run
just
us over.
around. We do endurance
That's lovely, Yaz, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Boy Tom?
Does move lovely. But Lesley, you're in charge of this lovely place here?
Yes, I am. Kennaa Equestrian Centre. This is, where we have a BRC affiliated riding club as well as the livery yard. So Yaz is very lucky that she can use these facilities all the year round, which is immensely helpful in the depths of winter. But no, we've got a big outdoor arena as well. So I'm grateful really that we have the opportunity to be able to have the free use of the facilities. So.
And did Yaz get something very special happen recently on the Isle of Man?
Yes, she did. We were very delighted. We put an application in for Sport Aid, which is something that the Isle of Man
I've heard of
do.
Sport Aid, yeah.
That it's for elite sports people, and nobody ever on the equestrian side really has been lucky enough to get it, because it's very much It seems to be lots of cyclists get it with the Mark Cavendish link to the Isle of Man. But obviously Yaz impressed the panel in her interview, and her results since then have been amazing. So they're really happy, and they give us all sorts of help with things like physiotherapy and sports nutrition and use of the gym, and private doctor services and that sort of thing. So we're immensely grateful to Isle of Man Sport for taking on board. So.
And nowadays it's quite hard to get support. So.
Oh, it's massively difficult. So, you know, we are really, really grateful, and that hopefully is a springboard then to other things that, you know, we can possibly do in the future. So, you never know, might get to the Olympics in another 8 years maybe.
Fantastic.
Not on Tom though.
Oh no, poor Tom.
You never know.
Poor Tom.
So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.